One of the easiest ways to make a living or start a business or make money in today's market is with information. The entire ecosystem of the digital world or the modern world is built on our ability to access information and how quickly we can access that information. That's why whenever you have a toothache or a stomachache or a headache, the first person you go to is Google and not your dentist or your GP. The first person you go to when you want to learn something is Google, and by extension, YouTube. That's the power of that right there is the power of information. You can use it to attract interest, to command and to capture attention, to amplify desire, and even ultimately sell. But on its own, information won't do you much good. Let alone helping others, it won't help you. Otherwise, we wouldn't have empty libraries. You see, it is how you skillfully apply that information when you use it at the right time and place and channel that can not only change the life of others, but also change your life. Now, I want you to notice how I start with others and then you. That is because the key to changing your life is to first change the lives of others. And that is something Zig Ziglar once said. Now, when you do that, that right there is the very definition of the skillful application of information. And when you do it right, you'll not only change the lives of others, but you'll also get paid in the process. I'm going to highlight a few people just to give you an idea. Now, many of you have heard of Tony Robbins. He's built a $500 million empire on information. He offers help on everything from life coaching to business to relationships to marriages and so much more. Now, he does this through different channels like speaking engagements and mediums like courses and coaching and books and products and other products and mentorships. But the essence of what he does is that he's actually built an entire business that not only changes the lives of those who follow him, but also makes him a ton of money. And that is the bedrock or the foundation of this empire of his, is built on information. Now, another example is Bishop T.D. Jakes. Now, among many other things, apart from being a bishop or a pastor, he's known for some of his books and some of his published works. And some of the other people that you'll find are like Joel Osteen and Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Greene, the author, if you know, of the 48 Laws of Power, among many others, depending on your interests. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is to show you that there's nothing new here. It's not a new revolutionary idea that is going to make you rich in a very short time, but it is something that people are already using and are getting paid for it. And before you dismiss these examples and say that those people are, they're giants and, they're so big, I want you to remember something, that every giant tree was once either a seed or a sapling, and that's what happens. So what do I mean by this? Nothing starts off as a giant. Even the most famous person that they never started off as a giant. They were all, even human beings, the most complex of creatures that are on this planet, start out as babies. So even these people, they were once where you are right now, or even worse, before they rise to fame. I'm reminded of the story of Sylvester Stallone. How many of you know that he was actually once so broke that he couldn't afford to feed his dog and sold him? Today, he's a celebrated superstar. What about Arnold Schwarzenegger? He was once a kid living in dire poverty in Thal, Austria. And then he slowly rose to fame and fortune. So why am I saying all of this? I want you to know that every great man was once a nobody. And so no matter what your background is, no matter where you are in your life right now, you can become somebody. And how do you do that? Is once you start changing the lives of others, when you start changing the lives of others, you also change your life in the process. Unfortunately for you and for myself, is that there's a shortcut to get there, and that is information. Now, once you understand how to skillfully apply this information, which is the whole point of this channel or this podcast, whatever you want to call it, you'll be able to have a positive impact on people's lives and your life and family and business as well. Now, you're probably wondering, where is this information? Or I don't know what information to use. Well, here's the thing. Contrary to what you might believe, that information is already inside you. So I want you to stop for a second and take a moment and ask yourself, what is it that you know more than your friends or your peers or your colleagues or even your family? What do people constantly come to you for help with? What skills do you have or have you acquired over the years? What do you have the most experience in? What are some of your unique talents and or abilities? What are you naturally good at? What do people compliment you on? What are you passionate about, or what do you love? Basically, what I'm asking here is, what is your superpower? What is it that you can talk about for hours, or even for so many minutes, or even for half an hour, even an hour, without any prep time? Now, most of you probably think that there's nothing. And you're probably saying, I'm not talented, or I don't have any unique abilities or gifts or any special skills, and so much other negative self-talk that we pile upon our minds. And we've been taught to think like this ever since we were children. And that is okay. It's going to take some time to change it, but it doesn't happen overnight. And that is okay. But I'm here to tell you that there's something special about you, something that only you can do. The problem is that you're blind to it. Here's the thing. Your superpower or special ability is something that you're born with, or you're born for. That means that it comes second nature to you. That means it comes so easily to you that it's like common sense to you. Like, how can people not do whatever it is that your special thing is that you do? It makes absolutely no sense to you because it doesn't seem that amazing to you. It feels like common sense, like it is as easy as drinking water. So you spend your entire life dismissing it, and that is why you're blind to it. To you, it isn't that big of a deal. It becomes so natural and simple that it doesn't seem that important. Kind of like drinking water. It's not that big of a deal, but what you don't know is that it's a very big deal. And it's such a big deal that there are people who would pay thousands to millions of dollars to be able to do what you can do naturally. And it can be anything. It doesn't have to be anything special or anything grand. It can be anything. If you're a cook, if you can cook great food without even trying, then it's not that big of a deal to you. But to those people who don't know how to cook, that right there is a big deal. To those who don't know how to cook, to them you become an amazing cook. You become on the level of a chef level cook. If you're a great dancer and it feels effortlessly to you, it's not a big deal to you, but to people who don't know how to dance, you're God sent. Maybe you're good at drawing or communicating or talking or painting or singing or karate or driving or fixing electronics or football or video games or bodybuilding or running or welding or woodworking. Whatever it is that you're good at, just know that there are thousands to millions of people around the world who would want to be able to do what you can do naturally and without even trying. And they're willing to pay you good money to learn from you. Now look at how many YouTube channels we have today teaching about everything from advertising to playing video games, to math, to cooking, to singing, to fashion, to arts and crafts, to Excel, and so much more. And they're all getting paid a lot of money for it. And you too can get paid for it. Now, don't get me wrong, money is good, but it's not just about the money. It's about making a positive difference in people's lives. Once you start using your unique gifts and superpowers and whatever comes naturally to you, you'll start making an impact in the lives of others. If people come to you for relationship advice, you can be the one who repairs families and marriages, or even homes that are on the verge of breaking apart. If people come to you for bodybuilding advice, you can help thousands get into better and healthier shape. If you're a cook, you can help thousands of homes build better relationships and even bond with their loved ones over a meal from your kitchen to their ears. And that's the power of skillfully applying information. When you combine the right information with your unique abilities, with your talents, with your gifts, or basically your superpowers and experiences and life lessons, it becomes your message. And when you deliver your message to the right person at the right time, you can change their life forever. We all struggle with one thing or another at different points in our lives. And at that time, and it's in those moments that we need a helping hand, someone to help us grow. And you can be that person. You can use your superpower, experiences, and life lessons to help others go from whatever mess they're in, whatever their struggle is, whatever problem they're facing right now, and help them find a solution. Having been there and done that, in their eyes, your story of how you overcame whatever struggle it is, whatever problem it is, and turn things around for the better inspires them to make that change. You become an expert in their eyes, even if you don't feel like it just yet. And that's what this entire channel podcast is all about.